I have embarked on a bit of a journey lately. You may have noticed. I'm growing a beard. I'm growing a beard. So it's really made me realize a lot of things about facial hair lately. For instance, growing a beard is like going to the worst college party ever. In that the prospect of growing one is so much better than actually having it. Have you ever had one of those nights where you're really pumped to go out and it just ends up so shitty? It's terrible. So I'm gonna walk you through this. So at 10 o'clock at night, you're sitting there in front of the mirror and you're like, this is gonna be the best night ever! And then it goes on, you get to the party, it's 1 a.m., it sucks, and you're just sitting there like, man, any minute, it's gonna heat up. I'm telling you guys. And it just keeps going until 4 a.m. You're sitting in your room alone. You're crying. Eating a slice of Pugsley's. You're watching There Will Be Blood, and you're just this night gonna fucking rock. So that's what having a beard is like. That's what growing a beard is like. Every week you sit there in front of the mirror and you're like, man, any minute now, this is gonna be so good. And next thing you know, 3 years later, you look like Tom Hanks at the end of Castaway. And you're still waiting for something to happen. So people ask me all the time, Adrian, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you put yourself in this torment? And I always give some bullshit answer, just to do it. College, right? But the real reason is to explain girls' aversion toward me, because before, when I got rejected all the time, I had to ask myself all these uncomfortable questions, oh my god, is it me? Is it my personality? Am I unattractive? Just really uncomfortable. But now, when I get rejected, it's just must not like beards, you know? Ideally, in a few months, I'll just be able to make out with my beard anyway. It doesn't matter. Who needs it? So, I grew up Catholic. We're changing topics now. We're moving on. I grew up Catholic. So, I went to Sunday school, I'm sure a lot of you guys did, every week. And I can remember one of my teachers in particular. She was this miserable, old little woman, and you could just tell that she had 80 years of just regret and self-loathing just piled onto her frail little body. And she hated us. She hated us all so much. She's the kind of teacher that some innocent little first grader would raise his hand and ask Mr. Julo, if God is good, then why is there suffering? And she'd just be like, what the fuck do you know about suffering? So the good news was that she hated us so much that she would just put on VeggieTales every week. 3 hours of VeggieTales. In case any of you don't know, it's about a cucumber and a tomato, and they, teach morals or some shit. I don't know. So I realized the other day that show messed me up more than anything else in my childhood. Because for the longest time, I just couldn't eat cucumbers. I came home from Sunday school one day, and my mom was chopping up a cucumber, and I was just no! It was terrible. And that was my first moment of activism in my life. I would go to picnics, and I would see people eating these cucumber salads, and I would just go and look right in their face and say, you disgusting. And you can just imagine my terror when I found out that pickles are just cucumbers stuffed in a jar and drowned for months. It's terrible. The weird thing about all that is that I had no problem with people eating tomatoes. Somebody would have pickles on their burger, and I'd be like, genocide! People would dice up tomatoes and crush it into a sauce, and I would have absolutely no problem with it. And so that is why I am the blatantly racist person you all know me as today. Thank you.